called G6406. It's kind of the fancy shimmer color kit. So here's the colors. The number 1 to number 6 color. And for this kit, including 4 pieces the dip glue. The dip glue system for this one is the number 1 base. And another one, for this one is the number 1 base. For another one is the number 2, the activator. And the number 3, the top. And the number 4, the brush saver. So for this kit, it's including 6 pieces. The fancy shimmer colors is the dark autumn light winter colors, but it's always the shimmer. It looks like bling bling. So for these colors, it looks gorgeous for you, for the daily or the prom or the party. So today we select this color for our nail technician. It's number code 161, the dark gray shimmer. It's super gorgeous, the fabulous designs today we made. And here's the designs. It's the fancy romantic purple and with the mid-rose crown powders. And the middle one is the chunky colors. So let's go for the tutorial. And what's more for this kit, the G6406 nails is the limited time sliding do now. You just need to pay around $23.99 that you could get this kit. If you join with our Facebook group, that we will have more favorable price for you. And for the limited time sliding there is from 1:50 p.m. to 7:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So let's go. So here's the number, it's called 159. It's kind of a little bit purple colors, romantic. And another is the dark purple. It's like the 160. And this one is like the violent, like the purple colors. And we select another one, the GLT005. And this one is the chunky glitter with a little bit fancy chunky glitter. As you can see, for these 3 colors, it's matching and looks gorgeous. So, and today we are going to share with you our models with the almond shaped nails. And now we are going to make the tutorial. And here's the bumper pads. We must be to use the bumper pads or any balm or primer that you have, and you need to dry your nail bed first. Although our nail models is wearing the fake nails, but for the correct necessary, it must be to wipe off any oil or dust particles after you doing the buffing, because we need to remove any shine or oil from your nails. And now we need to use the bumper pad to dry the nail bed, then the powder will be more stick with your nails. And another thing is that you must be to prepare the clear powder today. And first, we must be using the tips, the nail tips or any stick to help you to avoid to stir the powder, avoid it sticking together, because we must be to dip into this kind of the powder. So first, we select this finger first. We are going to make the chunky glitter. First, we must be use the number 1 base. For our base, it could be easy to open for every time. And we must be to brush the base to your entire nail now, from the middle left to the right, and brush evenly. And then to dip into the clear powder. For the clear powder, it's the same fast drying dipping powder too. So it could be used as the base, because we do not let the fake nails look more transparent or see-through. So that's why we select to use the clear powder as the base. And another thing, we need to apply the base to your entire nail again. Do not let the base to get on your cuticle. And dip into this fancy chunky glitter. And let it stay for a second and take out. Going to tie off. and slightly to brush off any excess. As you can see, it looks brilliant. So we just used only one time for the chunky glitter. If you want more, that you could to apply another layer on. So we need to brush evenly the base to your entire nail again, from the middle left to the right, because this chunky glitter is the same fast drying dipping powder too. It can be dried within 30 seconds by itself. And now we are going to using the clear powder to protect your design. We need to protect it. And going to tap off and brush off any excess. And we're going to do another fingers together again. So we need to brush the base to your entire nail. From the middle left to the right. And going to dip into the clear powder. So for the clear powder, it could be used extra nature powder to protect your nails and to extra basic powder. That later we are going to using the chunky glitter, because we just apply the chunky glitter only one time, and then we must be to apply one layer of the clear powder. So now we need to apply the base to your entire nail again and brush evenly. And put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the chunky glitter powder. And this color number is called GHdip005. It's from our upcoming powder kit called G6607. And for this chunky glitter, it looks fancy. So after the chunky glitter, we must be to apply the base to your entire nail again, because later we are going to using the clear powder to protect your design. So now we are going to using the clear powder to protect your design. And going to tap off and slightly to brush off any excess, because for the chunky glitter it's easy to come off. But for this chunky glitter, it's kind of the fast drying dipping powder, so do not worry whether it will be easy to come off. So now we're going to apply the base to your entire nail again. For this finger, we're going to use this color. This violin color is called number 160 from our G6406. And for this color kit, we have the limited times lightning deal right now. You just to buy it with a very cheap price. So we need to brush off any excess. And now we're going to apply the base again. For the second coat, for our fast drying dipping powder, we select to do 2 applications is enough. So we just need to do 1 layer and another layer on. Put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the color powder. Let it stay for a second and going to tap off. Here's the basic handling way. And brush off any excess. So now we are going to apply it again for the base, because we must be use the clear powder to protect your shimmer. And this way we're using the nail tips to help to sprinkle the powders and to protect your design. And going to tap off and brush off any excess powder. So we must be to apply the base, prepare the base. We need to apply the base to your entire nail and brush evenly. And put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the color powder. Let it stay for a second and take out. For this fancy romantic violent purple color, it's the number called 160. It's now for this kids from G6406. For this kids, now is the limited times lightning deal right now that you could search in GHdip. When you enter the Amazon.com, you could get this kit with very favorable price. So we must be to do another code. Normally we suggest 2 to 3 coats for the color powder is enough. And if you have the interest for our nail technicians nail colors, it's the number 161 is the dark gray shimmer colors on her nails today. For those 6 colors is suitable and very good for the winter or the autumn seasons. So no matter the shimmer or the glitter or chunky glitter, we must be using the clear powder to protect. So you could buy the dip powder accessories kit that you could have one. It's 2 ounce size, so it could be long lasting for this kind of dip powder. That's to protect your design or use extra basic powders. So now for this finger, we need to use the base again, and we are going to do this color again. We need to dip into the color powder and we'll show you the colors. And using a brush to brush off any excess for every time. And for your brush, we must keep it flat, because for every time that's to avoid the surface get bumpy. Because the necessary part is let you to brush evenly the base to your entire nail. We're gonna to tap off and brush off any excess. We must be using this kind of the brush to brush off, and you could buy this from our dip powder accessories kit too. For that kit, you could focus on our GHdip Facebook group. We normally send for you the free gift if we have the events there. So now after 2 coats of the colors, we must be using the clear powder to protect it. So if you are first to use our powder kit, just focus on, because we must be using the clear powder to protect the shimmer. So now we're going to use the base to keep your brush flat and brush evenly from the middle left to the right. Put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the powder. Going to tap off and brush off any excess. So, and another layer, we need to apply it again from the middle left to the right. And going to dip into the color powder. Let it stay for a second. And going to tap off. So normally for after 2 coats, the color already so full. So as you can see, the color is strong and with the very beautiful fancy shimmer on your nail plate. We must be to apply the base again when you sprinkle the clear powder on your nails. Because this way will let your nails feel not so heavy or thick. You could dip into the clear powder too. So there are so many ways that you could use. So return to these colors. This number called 159. For this nails, we are doing the same. We need to use the powders to dip into the powder for 2 times for this kind of the color, because later we are going to use the mirror powders to make the design. So we need to brush off any excess for every time when you after one layer. And for this color, it's kind of the nude shimmer. And for this kit, the whole kit's core G6406 is including 6 pieces the fast dry and dipping powder kit and 4 pieces the dip glue. And you could buy the kit now because now we have the good price for you. And we must be to apply the base again, and then using the nail tips to help you to sprinkle the clear powder and to protect your shimmer. And brush off any excess. For this finger, we are going to do this color again. So here's the basic handle. First, we must be to brush evenly the base to your entire nail. But do not let the base to get on your cuticle skin. And brush off any excess. And for these colors, it looks fancy. And it's suitable for this seasons now. And going to dip into another layer again and going to tap off. So every time we must be use the brush to brush off because you do not want your glue brush to get dirty. And we must be to brush evenly again and using the nail tips and sprinkle the clear powder to your entire nail. So we're going to turn to this finger. We are doing the same handle way. So we must be to brush the base to your entire nail from the middle left to the right. And put your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the powder. And for this color, it's called 159. It's kind of the nude shimmer, but with a little bit purple, like the galaxy, because with the shimmer inside it. And this kind of the colors is very suitable for the hands looks more, the skin looks more bright, because it could be made your nails designs more outstanding. So after 2 times of the color, we must be to apply the base again and using the clear powder to protect your shimmer. For our powder kits, it's the fast dry and dipping powder kit. It's the unique price on the market. It's a unique formula on the market. So that's for this kind of the powders. It could be during the filing and buffing after 30 seconds. We do not need to apply any activator before you do the filing and buffing. So here's now, for this finger, we're going to do this color again. And this color number called 159. And later, we're going to use the mirror chrome to make the designs for these colors. And today we prepared a little bit purple and the rainbow mirror chrome to make the designs later. So just don't go away. We are going to make the mirror to show you how to make it to do the applicator. So now we are going to tap off and brush off any excess of the powder. And we must be to apply another layer of the base. And using the nail tips to help to protect your design. And for the clear powder, actually you have so many ways and so many usage. So until now, we are ready to finish the dipping. We're going to close the cap tightly closed, and we're going to clean the table. And actually for the powder kits, this color powder kits, the fast dry anti-mean powder kits is called G6406. And right now, for the kits, you just need to pay around 20 to 24 US dollar. That's you could get this kit. And for the limited times lightning deal, you just from the 1:55 p.m. to 7:55 p.m. the Pacific Daylight Time on a Tuesday. So we prepare the now machine because for our powder after 30 seconds we are going to do the filing by the now machine. Normally we use the now machine because for our powder it already strong extra rock. So we are going to use the machine to do the filing, file off any place you think bumpy or uneven. But actually if you follow our step by step, you won't have the bumpy or uneven problems easily. So now we're going to do the filing from the now plate. Because for the shimmer color or this chunky glitter colors, because we cover with one layer of the clear powder, so that you will see the white is so matte, white is not shiny. Don't worry, after the filing, shaping and buffing, we're going to use the top. That you will know how fancy of this color be. So if you do not have the machine, that you could buy our dip powder accessories kit. We have the now file, the ones which later we are going to do the shaping. For that file, you could use it to file off any bumpy or uneven place. And you could join into our Facebook group. That we have so many events there. We could give some free gifts. And actually for so many lovers there to share their experience how to make our fast dry dipping powder kits well. And actually if you have the interest that you could join into our Facebook group. We always have some events there. So we're going to pick this now file. For this now file, you can find it from our dip powder accessories kit. We're going to do the shaping by this now file. But as I mentioned, if you do not have the now machine, you could use this file. Our now technician using now, you could use it to file off the nail plates with the bumpy or uneven place. No, not just to do the shaping, you could use it to file off any place you think not perfect. So we're going to shape that. And for today, our mother's wearing the almond shape. So we're going to do the shaping. For this almond shape, it's super easy to do the shaping. If your nails a square or something, that you could trim the nail first and going to shape the nails by the angles, just around 30 degree angles, then shape it. And for the almond shape, it will become. So now for today, we're going to use this nail buffer to do the buffing. For this nail buffer, you can find it from our dip powder accessories kit too. We got so many useful nail tools for you by that accessories kit. So for this nail buffer, we are going to do the buffing. So actually, it's so necessary when you do the buffing because we must be grinding the nail powder, the powder nails surface more smooth. And because later we are going to use in the mirror chrome powder, so we must be to using a buffer to let the nail surface more smooth. We need to wipe while their mirror crumb powders on. And for this color, for this today's colors is the shimmer colors. And for the shimmer colors, is the color item number score G6406. And we select 160 and 159 to make the designs today. And for this finger, under the camera for this finger, the color is called GLT005. And actually, you can find it from our upcoming powder kit, G6607. If you have interest, that you could contact with our customer service and to see when they will come to show you, to go into show by their Amazon.com. So it must be to do the buffing slightly and slowly if you are not so familiar how to make the buffing well. Do not over buffing. So we're going to do the nail buffing like that, slightly from the nail plate first, and go into the corner, especially the critical part. You must be to do the filing, shaping, and the buffing well. I think most of the clients complain that why the powder will be easily come off, so there is some way to avoid the powder easily come off. So here's the tips. First, we must be washing your hand, and you must be to push back your critical skin, the dead skin, and cut off any excess dead skin. And later, we must be using a nail buffer to remove any oil or any shine from your natural nails. And another thing, we must be using a balm to dry the nail bed. And final, after you do all nail art process, we must be to do the filing, shaping, and the buffing. So don't forget the critical part and the nail edge part. So the powder will be long lasting over 2 to 3 weeks. And one more tips when you're doing the filing or the buffing or the shaping, we must be using our 2 fingers to hold your critical skin to avoid it scratch. Because your fingers will feel how heavy or the pressure from your buffer. So that's why we suggest you to use 2 fingers to hold your critical skin to avoid it get scratch. So we must be to do the buffing hard for this finger, because later we are going to do the mirror crumb for these 2 fingers. We're going to do the buffings from the nail plate and go into the critical part. And just turn to your nail buffer with different angles. You could shape your nail easily. So after the buffing, we must be to brush off any dust particles from your nails or your hands. And actually, you could wash your hand now and take out the lint-free wipe. For the lint-free wipe, we're going to wipe off any dust particle from your nails. And from one by one. You must be to wire off any nails one by one because later we're going to do the designs on. Okay, we prepare the gel top coat because later we're going to do the mirror crown. Here's the gel top coat. If you have the gel top coat on, that's you can prepare. So we select this finger, and this color is called 159. It's the shimmer color. As you can see, because after the buffing and the shapings, the surface is matte with a little bit dust on. After you apply the top, you will see, well, this color is super fancy and super for the nails and looks gorgeous. I very like these colors because for these colors, it will let your hands looks more outstanding and more perfect. So now after the job top coat, we need to prepare the UV lamp. For the UV lamp, we must be curing your hands, curing your fingers for around 20 or 25 seconds. Today we select just 25 seconds. 25 seconds because we cannot to let it for curing for long times. Just after 25 seconds, not too dry or not too stick. That's your nails, your fingers will be more easy to let the mirror powders get on. So now we prepare the eyeshadow applicator. This one is look like the eyeshadow applicator for the mirror powders, and actually it's so fine and lightweight, so it will fly anywhere. So we must be using the applicator to wipe it on. And today we select this purple colors. For the basics, we're using the 159. For the top, we're using the mirror powders. And using the applicator line look like the eyeshadow applicator. Just wipe it on. How great they come in, and so fast and so easy to make the pretty color options. And for this mirrors, it's kind of look like a little bit rainbow too. So now we must be using the gel top coat. After you wipe the mirror to do the application of the mirror crown, we must be using the gel top coat to protect your design. So that's why we must be do the filing and the buffing well, and the mirror crowns will be easy to get on your nails. Okay. After applying the gel top coat, we must be wait around 1 minute to let the gel top coat get dry. So do you know how to make this kind of the mirror crown powders on your designs now? So we will for our today's tutorial. For first, we must be to use one color, the number called 159. For that colors, we made it as the basic color to dip into the powders for 2 application, 2 coats. And after that, we must be to do the filing and shaping and buffings. And later, we're going to using the gel top coat for curing around 10 or 20 seconds. Let the surface sticky, but not too dry, and then to do the application of the mirror crown. And after mirror crown powders, we must be cured with 1 layer of the gel top coat. And for around 1 minute, it already finished. So we turn to this hand. We're going to do these tutorials again if you missed the last part. So we must be to use the gel top coat. For the gel top coat, we need to apply very thin layer on to this color for this nails. For this color, it's called 159. So no matter you want to do the mirror or not, this color already really fancy. And this color looks so soft and so lady for this color. So we need to let your finger to put into the UV lamp for around 25 or 20 seconds. Just depends on your gel top coat. But you must be let the surface still sticky. So, and we pick the mirror chrome. Just using the applicator looks like the eyeshadow applicator. And just do it up and down vertically to your whole nail, to your entire nails. And just use the applicator to do the applications on your nails. And it's super easy to comment to show you this kind of mirror powders too. And for the mirror powders, it's so fine and so sticky and will fly everywhere. So when you're using the applicator, you need to do it very fast. So it's gorgeous. How great of a comment. So now we need to use the gel top coat again. So we must be to use the gel top coat again and to protect your design. And we must be to apply it from the middle left to the right. And for every time, no matter the dip top or the gel top, we must be to apply it evenly on your nails. So now we need to wait around 1 minute to let the gel top coat get dry. So during this 1 minute, we must want to remind you for this kit, the G6406 now is the limited time lightning deal right now. You just need to pay around 20 to 24 US dollar. You could get this kit. If you join into our Facebook group, you will get very good and favorable price for this kit. But it's because it's the limited time lightning deal. So now you just to enter the Amazon.com and by searching GHdip to get this fancy shimmer color kit. And for this color kit, we have 6 pieces the fast drying dipping powder and 4 pieces dip glue. You can use it for your daily life and super easy to use. So after 60 seconds, 1 minute, we already done for this design. It looks gorgeous. How pretty of the comment. So for this kind of the mirror crown, we will let your nails looks more outstanding and fabulous. So for the rest of the fingers, we're going to use the number 2, the activator. So if you are already using our fast drying dipping powder, I want to remind you for our activator, you just need to use it only one time, which after the filing and buffing. You do not need to apply any activator before you do the filing and buffing. And here's the highlights of our fast drying dipping powder. So now we're going to prepare the number 3, the top. For our top, we must be using 2 times. 2 layers. We must be to apply the first layer and brush evenly first. And for this color under the camera, this fingers, we're using the GLD005 and this kind of the chunky glitter. And for this color number, score 160. is from our G6406. So after one coat of the top, when you go back for the first now, we're going to apply the second layer on. Because when you see it half dry but still sticky, we must be to apply another layer on of the top. Because this way will let our top looks more glossy. So if you have the interest for this color, for this fingers color numbers, it's called GLT005. For this color is super gorgeous fancy chunky glitter. And here's the 160. When you're applying our top, we must be to let the first layer half dry but still sticky. Do not let it completely dry. Oh my god, it looks beautiful. So for this finger, we must be using the number 2, the activator, for the rest of the 3 fingers. We must be to apply very thin layer of our activator. For every time for the activator, we must be to keep it, after you using, we must be keep it kept tightly closed because for the activator, it's the volatile liquid. It'll be easy to disappear with the air. So now here's the number 3, the top. Apply it on the nails, slightly, brush evenly. We need to brush this kind of the top. Brush it from the middle left to the right. So actually after seconds, when you go back to the first nail, we need to apply it for the second layer on now. Because for top, it's faster dries than other brands on the market. So it is saving your time. The highlight of our fast drying dipping powder is no need to wait dries and saving your time no matter what temperature is in the room. From the 0-degree angle or up to 50-degree angle. So now for these colors, it looks gorgeous. So now we must be to use the top to cover and to protect your design. And here's the final application. After around 1 minute for our top, it will get dry. It could be long lasting for 2 to 3 weeks. So here's today's designs. And actually for these kits, the G6406 now is the limited time sliding deal right now. You could get this kit around $23.99 US dollar. You could get this kit. It's super favorable price. And today's designs, we are using the mirror chrome powder. And the colors we select 160 and 159. And for the middle fingers, we're using the GLT005. It's kind of the upcoming from our G6607 kit. So here's today's designs. If you have any interest, just enter our Facebook group. You could contact with us. Thanks for watching. Bye.